Good morning, it is Friday today. Just popping on quickly, I'm about to head out for a hair appointment and then to go to work. But I just wanted to pop on and do an opening clip because I thought that this weekend I would film a reading vlog. So last weekend I filmed a reading vlog and I don't normally film them like weekend to weekend, but the weather is rubbish. It is grey, it is cold, it is miserable. And Eli, my 9-year-old, has caught a cold. He made it 1 week at school and now he has a cold. So he's feeling very sorry for himself. I think he has passed it on to me. So I'm feeling pretty sorry for myself. So I really can't see us doing much other than cozying on down in the house and trying to only walk the dogs when it's not tipping down with rain, which lends itself very nicely, doesn't it, to a lot of reading. So I'm currently reading Malice by John McGlynn. This is the first book in a quartet. It's called The Faithful and the Fallen, and just for a little bit of background context, this is a series which was recommended to me by my husband James. He reads a lot of high fantasy and he recommended this, and in his words, it has a lot of tropes, but the good kind, and there are a fair number of good twists and turns. What is interesting to me is the way that this is written. Is very much like Game of Thrones, which is a series that I have tried to get James into, and he just says, oh, there's too many characters, I can't get on board with it, it's a little bit boring. And the setup of this is so similar in that you're reading from various different characters' perspectives, so each chapter really is a character's story arc. You've got different timelines, different story arcs, different places, lots of political intrigue. The basic premise is that we are in a place called the Banished Lands, where giants once ruled until they were defeated and essentially wiped out by humans, but the giants and other magical mystical things are once again on the rise. I'm 142 pages in, and that 142 pages has almost entirely been scene setting, so not much has happened. I think it's fairly obvious who our main characters, of all the characters, who our main characters are going to be. So honestly don't think that I will get this finished this weekend. If I was able to read more than 500 pages, that would be fantastic, but very unlikely. But that is kind of my main reading goal this weekend. As I said, right now I'm going to go out. So yeah, I'll check in with you all later. So I'm home looking somewhat worse for wear after a day at work. Absolutely cream crackered. I have got myself a glass of wine. I'm just about to get changed and put something comfortable on, and then I'm going to sit and read because I really don't want to do anything else, to be honest. It's been a long old day. Even though I was only working for half the day, it has been a long old day, so those are my plans. Hopefully nothing will get in the way of them. This is it now. I've laid down on the bed. Probably not going to get back up. James has gone out to the shop to get some dinner. Megan and Eli are occupying themselves, as is usual these days, especially on a Friday when everyone is tired. Shouldn't have laid down. Now I do not want to get back up and do anything at all. I just want to hang out here on my bed and see if anyone notices that I'm not parenting or puppy watching or doing anything useful. So it's probably an hour since I filmed my last clip saying that I was going to get changed, etc, and I'm still just sitting in the bedroom mooching around doing nothing. I haven't read, haven't got changed, I haven't made my dinner. I feel like this is pretty much setting the standard for how this weekend is going to go. I need to get changed, I need to get up, and I need to do something. I cannot just lie on the bed all evening. That would just be such a waste of time, but I feel a little bit brain dead, to be honest. It's been a long week. I know I've said that already, but it has been a long old week and I feel a little bit brain dead, and I just need to chill. Once I open that book, once I open Malice, I will just read and read and read because it is really capturing my attention and I'm desperate to kind of get past the scene setting and know what's going on. So I know as soon as I start reading, I'm not going to want to stop, but I just have no drive whatsoever to get changed and do stuff. Need to hustle. The next time you see me, I will be not wearing work clothes 100%. Just as evidence that I did get changed, I've got my extremely comfortable high-waisted joggers on, which I was actually sent, for full transparency, I was actually sent for a blog post, and then I've got my stripy Free the House Elves Dobby top on. Super casual for a Friday night, and all these books that I am needing to take to the charity shop, which I can't be bothered to take because it means carrying things. So yeah, there you go. I got changed.
The Italian bunting from your birthday party. Just coming trailing all this bunting behind him, sits down and starts chewing it. I'm like,
Care to share with us all what you are reading, James?
I'm reading The Crocodile on the Sandbank by Elizabeth Peters.
And are you enjoying it?
I am. I read it, must be 15 years ago now. It's like a murder mystery set in Victoria, Egypt, and it's very funny.
Good. We have sleeping dog number 1. Sleeping dog number 2. And I am 187 pages into a 600-page book. Woohoo! So it's 10:30 and I'm going to call it a night because I am falling asleep. I've got my little buddy here next to me, and yeah, I'm just absolutely shattered, as I think you could probably tell. I have painted my nails this evening, which is nice, and I'm just under 200 pages in to Malice. I think I said in the clip that started this vlog that one of the things that James had said to me was that it was really tropey, and it definitely is, and I feel like some of the situations that the author includes in the book are very clumsily done. Like, you know what's going to happen. He says he will write a line and then you immediately know the action that is going to follow that. For example, there is some friction between one of our characters, Corbin, and another character, Rafe, and you read from Corbin's point of view, and he's constantly getting into scrapes with Rafe, and then something happens and you immediately know, it's just like, oh right, okay, he's gonna have another fight with Rafe now, and it's just a little bit clumsily done. And I'm hoping that, as you know, this is the first book in a 4-book series, so I'm hoping that once we get past the scene setting and the kind of introduction to the characters and the story takes off properly, that things will improve. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because obviously it's a debut. It takes a while, I think, for an author to kind of grow into their writing almost. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, and James has said that it does have twists and turns and that it's worth reading, and I don't think that he would recommend me a book that was crap, basically. So yeah, I'm definitely willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. 200 pages is more than I thought that I would actually read because we're only on Friday evening, so I'm actually feeling a little bit positive that I might be able to finish this book this weekend. That is probably the kiss of death on me doing it, but yeah, we'll see. Definitely enjoying it, definitely tropey. I have lots of theories. It's interesting to me that James has read it because I can kind of bounce my theories off him and then try and read his facial expressions and see if I'm right, but I have lots of theories. So at the moment what we have, I think I mentioned before, sorry to keep saying I think I mentioned, so we're in this land where there were giants, and then the humans came and defeated the giants, but there's also there's a lot of politics, but there's also a side storyline involving a fallen angel called Azeroth and the god called Elyon, and there's kind of a god war brewing between these two, so there's kind of a supernatural element to it, or a spiritual element to it, I guess. I don't know whether it's that kind of heavy-handed, but there's that, and then a prophecy has just been announced where there are going to be two human factions. So you have the bright star and the black sun, so they're like the gods' chosen ones, so you have obviously good and evil, and they're going to be two champions and they're going to fight. So it's very interesting to kind of read and think, which of these characters have we already met? The character who's going to be the bright star, and have we already met the character who's going to be the black sun, and who do I think it's going to be? Particularly because all the characters are pretty good and pretty likable at the moment, the ones that you're reading from the point of view of anyway. So yeah, it's interesting to think who is going to be who. Have we already met them or not? But now I feel like I'm rambling because I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to bed and I will update you all in the morning. I have just finished taking a picture for Instagram. That is my autumn TBR, if you recognise it from my recent video. Now I'm going to finish a cup of tea and do a little bit more reading whilst I wait for lunch. James is making some lunch. I am on page 243, so I've made some progress this morning and I'm feeling pretty good that I might be able to get halfway through before the end of the day. We are going for a walk after lunch, so I'm not sure how much reading I'll get done in between now and then, or between now and this evening, but I will of course update you shortly. Coming up to 6 o'clock. We've not long been home. I didn't do too much reading after I said I'm just going to read for a bit and then have some lunch. I think I literally managed about 2 pages. Then we had lunch and then we went out to the beach. We went to Crosby Beach, which is slightly further than we would normally go, but it turned out to be a really nice afternoon. It was really warm and bright. The kids and the dogs played in the sea. It was the first time Loki's ever wanted to play in the water and he loved it, and even Pepper went in, and normally she's a little bit of a princess about getting her feet wet, but she played. Yeah, the kids just got to walk in the sand. We had ice creams, which was all very well and good until Eli slipped on a sand dune and tumbled and lost his ice cream. So yeah, it was all fun and games until he fell and lost his ice cream, but just turned out we stayed there much longer than we had originally planned to. It just turned out to be a wonderful afternoon, and now we're all a bit tired. So I've just popped upstairs. James is making the dinner. The kids are occupying themselves. I thought I would come up and read for a little bit before we have our dinner. We started watching Dolittle yesterday and we got halfway through that, so we will probably finish that today and then we'll settle down for the evening and I will read. I would love to get to the halfway point before the end of the day, so we will see how I go. I'll obviously update you in a little while. Right now I'm going to grab these 20 minutes before dinner and do some reading, so yeah, I will check in with you later. I'm currently editing a video that I'm hoping to get up later today, and having a working lunch. I've already started eating it, so unfortunately it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's roasted vegetable couscous with some salad and roast chicken with a little bit of garlic mayo. Honestly, one of my favourite dinners. It is an absolutely gorgeous day today. I don't know where this weather has come from because it has been so miserable up until today, and it's just really warm. It has taken me also ages and ages to edit a video. I had this idea of a video that I wanted to do, like a reaction video, and it's just taken me the longest time to edit it. I feel like I've wasted most of the day because it's 3:30 right now. In terms of reading, I am on page 346. I was so hopeful that I was going to get this finished today, but because it's taken me so long to film and edit, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this completed today, but I think I've made pretty good progress, and I think that it is becoming more obvious now. It's taken a long time for the story to get going. It's very much heavily leans towards just scene setting for a lot of the book, and just kind of getting to know all the characters, but I'm kind of beginning to get an understanding of where we're going, of who's going to be who. You know, I mentioned before about the bright star and the black sun, and I have various different theories about that, and just little things are beginning to happen, and the story's beginning to gain momentum, but it has honestly taken all of those 346 pages for that to happen, but I am enjoying it. So I finished editing now. I'm going to have a cup of tea and do some reading. I do have a few other different bits that I need to get done, but I feel like I've made good progress. I would like to read maybe another 100 pages today. Don't think that's going to happen in all honesty, but we shall see. And yeah, I'm going to do some reading now. The boys are watching football. Megan is entertaining herself crafting, and I have snuck upstairs to do some more reading. So let me get on with it because I feel like this is too good to be true and I'm going to get interrupted shortly. So I'm going to get on. I'm just getting to the point in the book where it's becoming so good. I think I mentioned earlier in the vlog that a prophecy was given, and I've been trying to work out kind of who the prophecy applies to, but one of the things that it said was on this certain day, I think it's Midsummer Night, something would happen, and that's how they would all know that this prophecy was true. So you've got a high king, and then you've got various other kings and various lords, and the high king has tried to gather everyone together and persuade them that this prophecy is true, and that they need to unite in order to deal with the rise of the giants, but also deal with this god war that's coming. But it was kind of like, this thing is going to happen, day is going to become night on this day, and a lot of the kings kind of said, well, if that happens, then we'll believe the prophecy is true. And I'm just at the bit where that is gonna either happen or not happen, and the fallout from that is then obviously going to occur. So yeah, as I said, it's definitely gaining momentum now. I think because it's a quartet, not too much more could actually probably happen in here, because otherwise what's he going to write about for the next 3 books? I don't know, but yeah, as I said, I've probably got about half an hour before I have to get up and do something, and the book is just getting so good. I'm like in with the characters now, and they're under my skin, and because, you know, I love my character books, so I really just kind of want to get to the end and see what's what, and I've got different theories, and it'll be interesting to see if any of my theories are correct, and if I find that out in this book. I don't know, but it's very good. I think I would agree with James 100% that it is very, very tropey. I think I've pretty much worked out who is who, to be honest, in terms of the Black Sun and the Rising and the Bright Star. Black Sun, Bright Star. Happy to be proven wrong, but I think that I have worked it out. But I think it doesn't matter, does it, that it's tropey if a story is enjoyable, and this is pretty enjoyable. I'm liking a lot of the characters, I'm rooting for a lot of the characters. I think that's quite important in a book. So yeah, I am going to do some reading now. There's actually so much complexity to this story, so much more than I thought originally. The author has kind of touched on when the giants and the original God War took place, something fell to earth and the giants used it to make weapons. I want to say it was like a star or something, and they used it to make weapons, including a cauldron and an axe, which have both been mentioned a couple of times. An axe was stolen from one of the kings, and one of the darker characters, Evnis, who we discover has made some kind of bargain with Azeroth, the dark god, at the beginning. He has mentioned a cauldron a few times, and now it's become apparent that we're looking at some kind of, it says here, where is it? One of the 7 treasures, so they are obviously going to play some kind of part in either this book or the story later on, but the 7 treasures are made from this material of this, I think it's a star, James will probably correct me if I'm wrong, he'll probably be outraged that I can't remember, that fell to earth and then the giants crafted from it. But it obviously has some kind of special capability or something. It's going to be, I feel like gathering these 7 things is going to be important. So Evnis, who is one of our darker characters, as I said, he's not a good guy. He has one of these treasures and he has been looking for the others. The giants stole an axe earlier on, and yeah, I feel like they are going to be, these 7 treasures are somehow going to be important. But I mean, honestly, I am 350 pages in and just more and more keeps being added to the overall story arc as we go along, which, as I said, makes sense because it has to stretch out over 4 books. But I just feel like I get my feet under me and then it's like, oh okay, something else now, oh okay, something else now. But we still haven't kind of discovered the original story that was introduced to us. So yeah, it's good, but there's a lot to kind of take in and absorb and get a hold of and get a handle on. And all I want to know is which one is the Bright Star and which one is the Black Sun. Who is good and who is bad? That's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, there's a lot more to this story than I first thought. And I'm enjoying it, but we'll see. So actually, I've also changed, I haven't managed to read that much because stupidly I forgot about something that I had to do for work, hence why I've changed my top. So I've done that now. Also, I've downloaded Premiere Pro to start trying to edit my videos with that rather than iMovie because my Mac is on the fritz. So I lost quite a lot of time starting the edit of this video as well. So I am now 385 pages in. I have given up all hope of finishing this before the end of the day, but things are starting to come together and it is just so good. I don't know if I have properly explained this book. I hope that I have. I will try and wrap it up more cleanly tomorrow as kind of an end to the vlog, but all the different individual character story arcs are starting to draw together and some of the characters' paths are starting to cross. Oh my word, I can't speak. Some of the characters' paths are starting to cross and it's just getting really good, and all I want to do now is just read, so I'm going to get on and do that. But I just wanted to give you kind of a little update as to where I am. So the big sign that they were all waiting for has happened, and now, as I said before, the story is kind of gaining momentum and it's just really good. I'm really enjoying it. I think that I'm definitely going to want to buy the next one and just kind of binge my way through this series. But yeah, I'll check in with you in a bit. So it's a couple of days on now, and I just wanted to do a final rounding off clip. I have actually finished Malice. I finished it on Tuesday morning. I had a tiny bit left on Tuesday and I managed to finish it. It's Wednesday morning now. I'm actually just about to head off to work for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to stay with my sister, which I'm very excited about because I haven't seen her since January and it's just going to be the best. But yes, I finished Malice, so I wanted to kind of give you a brief overview of my thoughts. Obviously I will explain more in my wrap-up, but in terms of the book as a whole, it is everything that James said it was in terms of being very tropey, and some of the places, some of the storylines, some of the story arcs are done a little bit clumsily, and it takes a long time to get going. I mean, if in terms of plot, the plot moves at quite a fast pace, and there's a strange blend between there being a whole load of characters to kind of pick up the story of and get to know, and then the plot moves every time you come into contact with one of the characters. They're in some kind of extreme peril, or the plot just moves really quickly. A lot of time will pass between when you last met a character and then when you meet them again in another chapter. So a lot happens. I mean, he's kind of got this weird balance between a ton of things happening plot-wise and a ton of characters to go with it. But in terms of the overall kind of God War brewing, who's the bright star, so the good guy, who's the black sun, so the bad guy, and all of that kind of stuff, it takes a long time to start kind of delving more in depth into that. I'd say a good 300 or 400 pages, and really most of the height of the action, if you will, happens in the last 150 pages. So it's a big commitment to kind of get to know these characters, to follow along, and only then as the book begins to end do you get the meaty stuff, I would say. Obviously it's the first book in a quartet, so there are 3 other books to come after this, so you couldn't have it all in this book, but I just think it's something to be aware of. That being said, it is a lot of fun, and if you stick with it, and if you get to know the characters, and if you let their stories get under your skin, then I think you'll really enjoy it. Like, I cried at the end of this book. I'm absolutely devastated with what the author decided to do with some of the characters, but that just shows me that I fell for the characters and the story, hook, line and sinker. It's not perhaps complex and clever in the way that, say, Brandon Sanderson's books would be clever, but it's enjoyable and it's fun. And if you like fantasy with a little bit of politics, with a little bit of battle scene, with, you know, with a couple of battle scenes, with that kind of traditional underdog hero storyline, I think that you would really enjoy it. And I already ordered the next one and I plan to read it ASAP, so that probably tells you everything that you need to know. And that's kind of it for this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming along on the journey, and what a journey it was. Honestly, tears. I threw the book. Oh, I forgot to mention that I threw the book. I threw the book and cried actual tears, and then I called James and said, I'm not reading the last 20 pages, this book sucks. Then I read the last 20 pages. But yes, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Take care, and I'll see you soon.